Hey, Dan Passarelli here. Happy Friday. Wow, well, what a crazy bullish week this was. Market ended up on the week, SPY 637 spot 10, an all-time high, not just in the price of the S&P 500, but in the priciness of the S&P 500. Going back and looking at the PE ratio, the PE ratio, again, is the price of equities relative to what their earnings have been in the past trailing 12 months or the last 4 quarters. Right now, the PE ratio is as high as it's ever been in the past 20 years, except for during the Great Financial Crisis and during the COVID crisis. So here, if we're assuming that this is a non-crisis scenario, which is not a financial crisis like in 2008, it's not a pandemic like in 2021. So the market is extremely high. Now, that being said, it can keep going up, but the major banks have been advising their clients to hedge, and specifically because the VIX is below 15 as of today, 14.93, hedges are extremely cheap, extremely cheap. Let's talk about what might happen between now and a week from now. Well, Trump is meeting with folks from the EU in Scotland to maybe work out a trade deal. And if that happens, gosh, the market could go even higher and become even more overpriced by this metric, though that would likely become unsustainable. Also, this past week, there wasn't any news except for earnings, which was a lot of news on a lot of different companies. But next week, we still have just as much as far as earnings goes, but we also have just a ton of other stuff. Not so much Monday, but Tuesday we have JOLTS and job openings, as well as consumer confidence. But Wednesday is the Fed announcements on the interest rate decision and Powell's press conference. And boy, oh boy, has that become pretty interesting with the headbutting between Powell and Trump. But the market still prices in a 97.4% likelihood of interest rates not changing. Further, next week, on Thursday, we have PCE index, which is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. Very, very important. And Fed balance sheet, which gives us an idea on how quantitative tightening has been going. And then finally, on Friday, do you believe it? It's the first of the month, the first Friday of the month, which means, drum roll please, but ding, non-farm payrolls is out, and that is our first look at what might happen at the next Fed announcement. So, holy cow, there is a lot of forces at play here in the market, and next week is sure to be something special for traders. I hope that helps. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.